Now to disturbing new threats against election workers across the country. The FBI is investigating a series of letters containing suspicious powder sent to election workers in at least these 5 states, one even testing positive for traces of fentanyl. Election officials are calling this an act of domestic terrorism. Joining us now is NBC's Justice and Intel correspondent Ken Dilanian and former FBI Assistant Director for Counterintelligence Frank Figliuzzi. Ken, what more have we learned about these letters and which states received them?
Good morning, Anna. We may be up to, let's see, Washington State, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, California, and Nevada at this point have all reported receiving these letters targeted at election offices or election workers. The FBI and the Postal Inspection Service are investigating. A copy of one letter that is circulating around suggests that whoever sent it wanted to stop the election process, which is fairly self-evident. As you mentioned, Secretary of States, including Brad Raffensperger of Georgia, have come out forcefully and declared that this is domestic terrorism, that it can't be tolerated. In a number of instances, white powder included in these envelopes has tested positive for fentanyl, which is obviously a really toxic substance, but there have been no reports of anyone hurt or injured or suffering ill health effects from contact with the letters. Nonetheless, it's a really alarming development for a group of election workers who are already under a heightened state of threat amid bogus claims of fraud and a lot of angst in the land about elections, Anna.
And Frank, Fulton County, Georgia, where, of course, there's the election interference probe and the trial set to be. This was one of the targets, reportedly. Georgia's Secretary of State Raffensperger said this yesterday.
I just want to really emphasize the seriousness of this. You know, some people like to call fentanyl a drug, but it's actually poison. It'll kill you. It'll kill you very quickly, very easily, and it's very dangerous. This is domestic terrorism, and it needs to be condemned by anyone that holds elected office and anyone that wants to hold elected office anywhere in America.
So, Frank, we heard him calling this domestic terrorism. Is that what this is?
Yeah, look, the working definition of domestic terrorism is the use or threatened use of force to influence or coerce a government or a civilian population for a particular ideology or political cause. So if indeed this is about delaying the counting of votes or delaying an election, it certainly would fit the definition of domestic terrorism. And I echo the sentiments of the Secretary of State of Georgia on how lethal this could be. Now, skin exposure to fentanyl is less likely to be lethal, but inhaling fentanyl can be extremely harmful and lead to death. Even as much as 10 to 15 grains, the equivalent of 10 to 15 grains of salt could be a lethal dose. So something to be concerned about. It looks like this is about intimidating election workers. It's also a message about law enforcement's ability to stop and intercept some of these letters. Georgia, reportedly, their letter was intercepted in the system before it actually arrived to the election office.
But it appears these letters were going far and wide and no arrests, that we know of at least at this point. What are investigators doing right now, Frank?
Yeah, there's an interesting similar incident that occurred in August in Washington State. Again, an election office receiving a trace amount of fentanyl in the mail, and reportedly that letter originated in the state of Oregon. So we already have enough for law enforcement to be going on here. Postal inspectors, FBI, very adept at tracing mailings. So I'm encouraged by the fact that this person or persons will be found, but there's also a safety message here. So if you're in an election office, you should be doing what many corporations have moved to, which is think about how you're handling your mail. Think about using gloves. Think about using a bio box to open your mail. Screen your mail. Wear a mask so you don't inhale a toxic substance that's come in. We've got to rethink how we handle mail, particularly in election-related offices.
It's so unfortunate that we're in that space. We have to be that careful. Thank you so much, Frank Figliuzzi, Ken Dilanian, and keep us posted as we get new information.